and welcome to this Kind Club Short. I'm Holly Pasquinelli. Today we're talking all about community cats. Chances are you've seen a community cat maybe in your neighborhood. Community cats are really special because they live outside and they don't have owners like a pet cat. We have so many community cats that come in here to the shelter that we have one person named Patricia who oversees all of them.
This is the community cat holding area. This is where all cats waiting to be spayed and neutered or recovering from their spay-neuter surgery are housed. I love cats to begin with. I like being able to be a voice for them, so it brings me joy. And then this shelf right here, this is where the cats go once they're recovering from surgery. A community cat is any free-roaming cat outdoors, whether it's out in the country, out on a farm, or in your neighborhood here, in the city of Fort Wayne. Any free-roaming cat can be considered a community cat, whether they are feral, so not social, or even the friendly human social ones. They're living outdoors, they're being cared for and fed by kind humans, and then we make sure that they're sterilized, so they're spayed or neutered. They're not going to be able to reproduce and have kittens. They are looked over by a veterinarian. They're rabies vaccinated, microchipped, and ear tipped.
Microchips are about the size of a grain of rice, and they're a permanent form of identification. They're inserted just under the cat's skin and help us return cats to their owners, or in the case of community cats, to their neighborhood or their caregiver's address. But the most obvious sign of a community cat? The ear tip.
If you can see that the left ear doesn't come to a point anymore, it just is straight across, you know that that's a cat that's been fixed and it's got a caretaker and it belongs outside.
Now that we know what community cats are, why do they live outside instead of going into the adoption program to find homes? Well, sometimes cats just want to live outside. Some cats found outside are afraid of people and wouldn't do well in a home. And some cats are friendly but prefer to be outside because that's where they lived their entire lives.
Just because a cat is friendly does not mean it's a cat that's going to want to live indoors permanently. With those social and human-friendly cats that come in, yes, we do want to decrease numbers on the street and place them in loving homes when we can, but sometimes those cats just don't want to live indoors. They've been outside their whole life. They've been used to being able to do whatever they want, whenever they want. But sometimes we have those cats that do want to be inside, and it's cool to see those updates. It's cool to get the updates from the caretakers, seeing their ear-tipped cats frolicking in the yard. And I love when I get the updates that no more kittens born this year.
So what should you do if you see a cat outside? First, look to see if one of its ears is tipped or doesn't come to a point. If it is, that means it's a community cat and you don't need to do anything. That cat has been spayed or neutered so it can't have babies, vaccinated so it stays healthy, and microchipped to either a caregiver or a neighborhood where it lives, and ear tipped so anyone else who sees it knows it belongs outside. If the cat's ear isn't tipped, it might be a lost cat or an outdoor cat that hasn't gone through the process of becoming a community cat yet. The best thing to do is have a parent bring the cat to the shelter if it's friendly so that we can check it for a microchip. If it's really afraid of people, the shelter can help your family catch the cat by using something called a humane live trap. These are small cages that when the cat goes in to eat the yummy food, a door closes behind it. These help the cats feel less stressed than being touched by humans. And Patricia has advice if you see kittens outside.
If you see kittens outside first and you don't see a mom, I would just kind of step back and observe for a few hours and wait to see if mom comes around. Some of the same techniques that you are suggested for wildlife, like if you see some baby bunnies out there, you can kind of put a string around or sprinkle some flour out there, and if it's disturbed, you know that mom has come and gone. A lot of times the adult cats will be afraid to go back to their kittens if they see humans around, so it's better if we kind of take a step back and just monitor and see if mom is coming back to them. If we can keep mom and kittens together for as long as possible, that's the kitten's safest bet. And that could mean that they hang out with mom until they're 8 weeks of age and the kittens then come to the shelter, or it might mean that mom and kittens come to the shelter. It really depends on their safety in the area that they're in.
If you want to help cats in your neighborhood, talk to your parents. You could become a caregiver for community cats by setting out food and fresh water. You can also help cats stay warm during the winter months by making a community cat shelter. Patricia shows us how.
This one is not stuffed with straw yet, but as you can see, it's just made out of a regular storage tote. We cut a hole. I like cutting the holes 5.5 inches in diameter. You really don't want them to be any bigger than 6 inches, because if they're bigger than 6 inches, larger animals can get in. This is a cat-sized hole. This one, the hole happens to be cut on the short side, but a lot of times putting it on the long side where the cat can go in, and then it can kind of be protected from wind over on this side. And then I'll open this up. So the shelters are also lined and insulated with styrofoam insulation. And then it's going to be filled probably about 2/3 of the way with straw. It's very important that you only use straw for bedding. Straw is not going to mold if snow or rainwater rolls off of the cat's fur onto it. And it's also not going to freeze to the animal. And straw is a very good insulator. So when using the cat's own body heat, the straw is going to help to insulate and keep the cat warm as well. I know that a lot of people want to put blankets in there. We want to put nice, fuzzy, warm fleece blankets. Fleece blankets will hold no warmth when we're talking about sub-freezing temperatures, and they actually can pull heat away from the cat. Straw is going to insulate. We always have straw available here at the shelter as well. So this shelter just needs to have a little bit of straw put in it, and then it's good to be set outside on your property for some community cats.
The Community Cat program is so important to help save the lives of cats that otherwise wouldn't have another option. And now that you know what a community cat is, how to help, and what to do if you find cats outside, you can help save lives too. Thanks for watching this Kind Club short. I'm Holly Pasquinelli.